They threw their mother out, but they never expected what happened next. Long ago, on a quiet farm in California, an old woman lived in a small wooden house. She had spent her entire life working on that land with her husband. Together they had grown corn, raised chickens, and cared for many animals. Their farm was once full of life. But after her husband passed away, everything changed. The farm became quiet. The old woman's knees hurt, and every step she took was slow and painful. Her daughter and son-in-law lived with her now. At first, the old woman believed they would help her. But slowly, the daughter became impatient and cold. The son-in-law was even worse. He slept most of the day and avoided work. Still, the old woman tried to help. She cooked, cleaned, and fed the chickens even when her body ached. One night, while the house was silent, the young couple whispered in the dark. "We cannot live like this," the husband said quietly. "If things continue this way, we will have nothing." The daughter sighed and looked toward her mother's room. "There is only one solution," she whispered. "Mother must leave." The next morning, loud noises woke the old woman. She slowly walked outside. Her heart sank. Her clothes, blankets, and shoes had been thrown into the dirt. Her daughter stood near the door with cold eyes. "Mother," she said flatly, "you must leave this house." The old woman's hands trembled. This is my home," she whispered. But the door slammed shut. She sat on the wooden steps until evening, crying quietly. What the daughter never knew was that the old woman and her husband had saved money for many years. Hidden near the old corral was a small stone box. That night, under the moonlight, the old woman walked there. Her hands slowly moved the stones. Inside the box were coins and folded bills. Enough money to start again. The next morning, she walked to a nearby village. A kind farm family recognized her and welcomed her warmly. They gave her bread, tea, and a small room to rest. The following day, she asked a simple question. "Is there any land for sale?" There was. Soon, with the help of friendly neighbors, she bought a piece of land and built a strong wooden house. She planted corn again. She kept chickens again. And slowly, peace returned to her life. A young neighbor boy often came to help her carry water, repair fences, and feed the animals. He was kind, respectful, and hardworking. Meanwhile, her daughter and son-in-law became poorer each month. They still refused to work. Their house began falling apart. Their yard filled with weeds. They argued constantly. But they believed the old woman had nothing. One day, the son-in-law walked far away looking for work. After hours of walking, he reached a beautiful new farm. He knocked on the door. The door opened. The old woman stood there. His eyes widened in shock. "You?" "Yes," she replied calmly. Embarrassed and hungry, he asked for work. "I have no food, no money," he admitted. The old woman looked at him for a moment. Then she said quietly, "You may work here. But on one condition. You must not tell my daughter that this farm belongs to me." He quickly agreed. From that day on, he worked there. Every evening the old woman asked the same question. "How is my daughter?" And every evening he answered, "She is fine." Even though she was not. One morning, the daughter secretly followed him. She was surprised when she saw the large farm and the beautiful house. She walked into the yard. And there stood her mother. Anger filled her voice. "You live like this while I suffer," she shouted. The old woman calmly replied, "When you finish shouting, then speak." The daughter demanded money. She demanded the house. She demanded anything she could take. The old woman quietly handed her a few coins. Nothing more. The door slowly closed. The couple wasted the money quickly. Soon they sold their own house and land. They believed that one day they would inherit the new farm. But the old woman had already made her decision. She wrote a will. My farm will belong to the boy who helped me when I had no one. My daughter shall receive nothing. Years later, when the old woman passed away, the entire village came to honor her. The daughter and her husband arrived too, expecting the farm. But the villagers told them the truth. Everything now belonged to the young boy. Shocked and ashamed, the couple quietly left the village. No one ever saw them again. And the farm continued to grow under the care of someone who truly deserved it. Because in life, kindness grows. But greed destroys everything it touches. Remember this. Even when people push you down, you can rise again. Your worth is never decided by those who mistreat you. Choose courage. Choose dignity. And always choose the path of kindness.